I found the video on YouTube I wanted to react to. Its title is King Von, a Serial Killer. You're probably wrong. Before we talk into this video, this YouTube channel is called Breakfast Serial, and I guess he covers like murderer serial killers, right? And the question was, what about gangbangers like King Von, right? And before we tackle it, I want to just make everything clear. A serial killer, according to Google, is an individual who murders 3 or more people over a period of time or more than a month with a distinct cooling off period between killings. So somebody like Ted Bundy, or freaking Jeffrey Dahmer, cooling periods. He's gonna break down if King Von is a serial killer, because a lot of people like dog whistling. Oh, what about gangbangers? So let's look at this. Let's look at his opinion, what he's talking about.
Every time I post a video about serial murder, I can count on one thing. Someone in the comments is gonna say something like, what about gang members who kill multiple people? Or, hey, King Von was basically a serial killer.
Yeah,
or,
and this King Von being a serial killer, where it came from, this guy named Trap Lord Ross, if you already know, he made like a freaking 4-hour video basically breaking down all the murders that King Von did. Allegedly or not, but a lot of people from O Block, from that area in Chicago, said like most of that shit was probably real. Let's keep watching.
Hitman kills dozens, so why is he not a serial killer? So today, I want to take that comment seriously. Why are mafia hitmen, contract killers, and gang members who kill multiple people not considered serial killers? Why does criminology separate those categories?
I think the reason why I say this is because I believe gang members are organized crime, right? Serial killers are like people who psychopath, they just kill for no fucking reason, right? And the thing about gang members, they're not killing for no reason. They're killing because of a rival, because of a death score, because of territory, drugs, loyalty. So serial killers and mafia and gang bangers are two different things. The mafia, they kill because the family, the code, the gangster code, all that brotherhood, they kill for a reason, right? Serial killers, they're just killing to kill. No fucking emotions at all, no nothing. King Von, on the other hand, he was killing because he was in a gang. He wasn't just killing nobody just to kill him, right? So that's two different things. That's why the FBI separates them. Let's see what he's talking about, though.
Why do the FBI and virtually every expert in homicide studies insist on keeping them distinct? And why do people in the audience, people in the comments, people even in documentaries still instinctively blend those categories together? And I want to talk about King Von too, because if I don't mention him, the comments are certainly going to do it for me.
Yeah, and you know why a lot of people...
Let's start where we kind of have to...
They bring up King Von in this situation because they want to like dog whistle like, oh yeah, the black gangsters are serial killers too. That's two different things, brother. It's two different things. Two different things, man.
Start. What is a serial killer? Not a movie version.
Right.
I mean the actual criminological definition that researchers use when analyzing behavior across hundreds of cases. Because without that baseline, everything else falls apart.
Right.
A serial killer...
And definitions mean something. You can't just throw things around. This new generation, they just throw things around without having definitions.
Is someone who kills multiple victims in separate events spread across time.
Right.
Some places say 2 or more. Others say 3 or more. There's a cooling off period between the murders. There's a return to daily life.
Right.
There's a psychological component driving the murders. The motive is internal and personal. And most importantly, the murders are not committed for financial gain, not for drugs, not for gang retaliation.
And that's exactly what I mean. That's the difference between a serial killer and a mafia member and a gang banger, right? Most of the times when mafia members or gang bangers kill, like I said earlier, drugs, territory, revenge, and it's basically organized crime. They're not just killing people just to kill people. That's just not how it works. Yes, stray bullets happen, accidents happen, but most of the time, when a mafia member or any organization that's a gang, when they kill people, it's because of a retaliation or financial drugs. It's a reason. Like you said, serial killers Them motherfuckers just kill for no reason. They just like, it's a thrill to them. It's two different things, man. And he's breaking it down so well right now.
Not for mafia business, not for territory. The murders exist because the killer wants to kill. The murder itself is the goal.
Yeah.
It's the source of the pleasure, fantasy, and compulsion. And what do we do with someone like Jeffrey Dahmer? He's absolutely, unquestionably a serial killer, right? I mean, there's no debate there. But Dahmer himself said repeatedly that the murder was not even the part he wanted. He did not enjoy the killing.
Wow.
He said the goal was to keep someone with him, to possess them, to stop them from leaving.
Wow.
The murder was a means to an end. So now it sounds like we got a contradiction on our hands, right? Because if killing as a tool for another goal disqualifies hitmen and gang members from being serial killers, why doesn't it disqualify Dahmer? Why does he still fit squarely in the serial killer category when the murder itself was technically just instrumental for him too?
And you know why he doesn't fit that? Because he's killing because he wants something like internally. A organized crime like a game beggar or mafia, in the mafia, they're killing for a external reason. Financial, like I said, territorial, all those things are organized crime. Dahmer just killing Jeffrey Dahmer just killing because he wants somebody near him that's dead. It's a psychological difference, you know?
Well, that's where motive becomes more nuanced than just asking whether murder was the final objective. Serial killers often pick victims who represent something to them. Sometimes the victims share an identity that the killer obsesses over. Sometimes it's symbolic. Sometimes it is fetishistic. The point is that the murder springs from within the killer, not from an outside demand or organizational structure. This is why criminologists always emphasize the cooling off period.
Yeah.
The killer goes back to regular life for a while.
Yes.
They reset.
Yes.
They plan.
I have to listen to him. A serial killer, they'd kill a motherfucker and just go back to random life, live a regular fucking life. Somebody in a mafia or in a gang, they have to fucking live that life every fucking day. They have to be in that gang mentality, mafia mentality every fucking day. Jeffrey Dahmer kill somebody, this motherfucker go to work, pay taxes, like nothing happened. That's two different things, man.
And they fantasize, they rehearse, they return to everyday roles, and then they strike again. The cycle is one of the core pillars of serial murder as a classification. Without that cycle, the entire behavioral model breaks down. Okay, so now let's put that definition in your back pocket for a moment, because we need to talk about an entirely different category of killers. But real quick, before I go any further, hey, welcome to Breakfast Cereal. I'm Josh. If you're new here, welcome.
Shout out to Josh.
All those comments. This video, this category of killer is very different. These killings are not driven by an internal fantasy or compulsion. They're driven by external forces, money, orders, loyalty, territory, fear, retaliation, business disputes.
Yep.
They're embedded in a social system where killing is a tool used for practical purpose.
Right.
It's grim, it's violent, it's traumatic, but the motive is instrumental. The killing is a means to an end, not the end itself. See, there's a study that compared hitmen to serial killers published in Psychology Today. Here. It highlighted something crucial. Professional assassins do not select their victims.
Right.
Kind of obvious, right?
Yeah.
They're given their victims. The motives belong to...
But not only that, they're getting paid to kill, right? It's an organized system. Like you said, it's a system of a means to an end, right? They're getting paid to kill. It's a hit. Like, so it's like it's structured and organized. They're not just killing people for no reason, like a serial killer would.
someone else. In serial murder, the killer selects the victim from their own psychological universe. The selection itself is a major component of the gratification. Even within organized crime, like Italian mafia murders, for example, operate on an entirely different principle. They're
not the Godfather video, the Godfather sound though.
Calculated, they're strategic, they're transactional. A mafia hit is part of a power structure,
Yeah,
a hierarchy,
it's a system.
a conflict within an economic or political system.
Right.
These killings may be brutal, but they're not committed because the killer has an internal fantasy life that revolves around murder itself.
Right. That's as simple as that.
Gangs.
Gangs.
Now, this is where things get even more misunderstood.
People always do this shit.
But again, same thing here, folks.
And he was about to tackle him like people always do this shit. He about to break it down, bro. Perfectly, man.
Motive and context control the classification. The killings of specific targets,
Right.
rival gang members, individuals that are already kind of, within that gang or a conflict network,
Right.
or people who threaten that group. The motive is not internal fantasy. It's external survival and allegiance and social identity.
Right.
And this brings us to one of the most requested examples. King Von.
Hey, he crazy. Oh my God, King Von. He crazy for putting Von music in. Hey, he's real for that though. I give him that, bro. Von, bro. King Von was bro. He was popping when he was around, bro. Popping, bro. That man had skills, man. But he really put the King Von music in this shit, man.
What? You know I'm the realest, and you know I'm a killer.
Every time I mention
Von,
anything
man.
vaguely related to crime,
It's crazy how he died too. That shit was crazy when I remember when that shit happened. That shit was crazy. Rest in peace, Von, man.
here come the comments. King Von was a serial killer. King Von had multiple bodies. King Von should be classified with Bundy and Gacy. Someone tell me.
I think
how
people just want King Von to be this monstrous guy. Like he was really demon. He really a serial killer. Motherfucker just like idolize people for no reason, bro.
is not a serial killer. Okay, so let's take that seriously. Let's actually examine whether King Von fits the definition of a serial killer.
Yeah.
First, the factual background. King Von, born Devon Daquan Bennett, was affiliated with the Black Disciples in Chicago.
BD.
He was charged in violent incidents, involved in alleged gang conflicts, and linked to several homicides through police reports and informants. And he had a documented history in environments where shootings and retaliation were common.
Retaliation.
He died at 26 after being shot during a confrontation in Atlanta. So now ask the question, was he killing out of personal compulsion or fantasy?
No.
Or
Organized crime.
was he participating in a gang conflict where violence is part of the structure? Everything about his documented activity points to the latter. His alleged victims were not random strangers selected.
And like I said, this is obvious. It's just people want to fantasize rappers as these like insane people. Yes, King Von did murder people, but like it was organized, retaliation, territorial, beef, right? So that's two different things, man.
To fulfill a personal psychological need. They were rival gang members or individuals tied to a network of ongoing conflict. The motive is group-based, not internal compulsion.
Yeah.
You cannot have a serial killer classification without personal motive, without internal psychological reward, without a cooling off period that exists because the killer has temporarily satisfied a fantasy and is waiting for it to recharge. A study on inter-murder intervals, that's a tongue twister, found that serial killers often wait days or months or even years between killings. I mean, in the video that I made a while back on mass shooters.
That's kind of crazy, like to be a serial killer. Like just like imagine, like, damn, that's crazy. Imagine killing someone, don't tell nobody, and you go like months and months on again, and kill somebody else, don't tell nobody. Weeks later, kill somebody else. That's like insane to me, you know?
I compared that serial killer compulsion to a cigarette. I talked about it in the one React video on Dahmer as well.
Oh wow!
It's like you have a cigarette and you feel good.
You wanna feel good.
The addiction is gone. I feel fine. Well, not really, is it? Just temporarily.
It's like
fulfilled.
killing people with an addiction.
But it's got a half-life. Eventually, that craving starts to build and build again until you have to have another cigarette.
Well, look. I want to look at this. Look at this.
Again, until you have to have another cigarette.
So is fantasy arousal, planning, intention, kill. So planning, intention, kill, euphoria, cool off, fantasy arousal. So it's a system. It's a system. They kill, I feel good. Cool off, repeat. It's a system. It's not just gangs fucking killing each other. It's two different things.
But gang violence, that doesn't follow that rhythm at all.
They don't.
It just follows the external, the conflict cycles. Contract killing is something entirely different.
Right.
A study from Australia analyzing 162 contract killings found that the killers viewed themselves as professionals.
Right. Yeah.
They conceptualized the act as a business transaction. That's the opposite of serial murder. Who cares? When I see someone in the comments say that gang members are serial killers, I get what they're trying to say. They're saying that violence should be taken seriously, that the death count matters, body count matters. They're saying multiple victims are still multiple tragedies.
That's true.
And I agree with you. I agree with you for sure. But classification is not about minimizing. It's about understanding why the violence happens so that we can respond to it, study it, and hopefully prevent it. When law enforcement classifies a case as serial murder, they activate entirely different investigative protocols. See, they expect the killer to return to a fantasy-driven cycle.
Right.
Nobody's searching for a fantasy signature or a ritual pattern when they investigate a mob hit. And this is why the distinction matters.
It does.
If you call a gang killer a serial killer, detectives will run the wrong playbook. The wrong classification can literally derail an investigation.
That's true.
Serial killers are predators who
I would think gang killing is more easy to track because when you're part of a game, it's multiple people. So it's like all you need to do is find a weak link, and you could probably track down who's doing this, right? Because it's organized. But when it's just some random person just killing motherfuckers, like it's probably harder to track why these people are dying because it's not a structure where it's like most gangs, they're known in the city, right? For example, if you're a BD in Chicago, motherfuckers know you a BD, right? If you're a blood in California, motherfuckers know you a blood. Like in the police probably know who's in charge of the blood organization. But motherfuckers like Jeffrey Dahmer, motherfucker killed a black girl or black kid or some white innocent innocent woman traveling, fucking at the park. He killed her ass. Then you don't know. Like imagine a fucking black grandmother at her grocery store. She come home. Next you know she fucking dead. We don't like that's not normal. Like that's murder in general is not normal. But like when you just killing the innocent, killing children, grandmothers, soccer moms and shit like that. That's a serial killer because it's like he's just doing it just to do it.
kill, even if society were safe and stable. Gang members exist in environments where killing is part of a larger social and economic ecosystem. One is internal and the other is external. Again.
Yeah.
And if you want one final thought, here's mine. When people say King Von was a serial killer, they're not trying to make an academic claim.
No, they're not.
They're reacting to the number of deaths.
Right.
They're just reacting to the violence. But classification is not emotional, it's analytical. It's based on decades of behavioral research. And that is why King Von, mafia hitmen, and gang members do not fall into the serial killer category, no matter how many boxes they seem to check at first glance.
That's pretty much it. And I knew King Von wasn't a serial killer. I know back in the day people was fantasizing about this shit, but let's be real. Like, we have to call things what they are, man. And shout out to Breakfast Cereal. I guess he do serial killing videos, and this was a good reaction. I'm gonna start doing more like this. My name is Isaiah Sanders. This is the Isaiah Sanders Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. And this video was on King Von being a serial killer. I'm out of here.